Hi, welcome to Blender 4.5 Part 10. In the previous chapter, I explained about the material design in detail. As you can see, we have created these materials and also a marble material that I've removed it. Now, I want to explain about more advanced features, a concept called UV unwrapping. It will give you an ability to create the textures, advanced texturing capability in ZBrush, Substance Painter, or even Blender. Or Photoshop. You can access to all chapters and the other parts from the playlist here, and also the link is in the description. Before you want to add the texture and make the textures for your 3D model, you need to have a 2D structure which is represented by the 3D object. But you need to define the rules and structures that how does your 3D model should represent the 2D view. And on the 2D view, which we call it UV, you can apply and make your textures. For example, consider this sphere shape, this 3D shape, and we need to make it 2D for texturing. We can apply a UV unwrapping to achieve this result. And now at the right side in the 2D view, we can create the textures and apply textures to it. And Blender or other 3D tools will convert the 2D shape to 3D shape, and we can see the texture on the 3D surface. Alright, let's get back to the solid mode using the Z key. Here I will explain how to create the UVs from scratch, and I'll start with this cube, and then sphere, and then bottle is more complicated 3D shape. Alright, let's select the UV editing section, and here we have the UV, and also we are in modeling mode. If you press tab, now we are in the object mode. Alright, we need to be inside the edit mode, modeling mode, and create the UVs. Here at the left side we can see the UV tiles. If we select the polygon mode or this or 3 button and click on this section, you can see the UV tile related to the upper face is this, and this face related to this section here, as you can see. If we press the A key to select all the polygons, you can see the whole structure. I will upload every chapter of the course every week, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification to know about the new chapters and new tutorials. As you can see, each face, each polygon represents a shape in 2D view. Actually, we are converting the 3D view to 2D view for texturing. So, how to do it? And it is more complicated in complex objects. Consider we have a human face, or a complete body of a creature, or a car. It is so complicated for those objects. But for the cube is simple. We just need to cut some edges, but not real cut, not actual cut in 3D mode. They are cuts for the UV, for the 2D shape. If we make a cut here, then here, and then here, we can separate this polygon, but this section, this edge is sticked, and we can't completely remove this. And just we have a 2D representation of a cube. Let's do it. First, as you can see, we have a UV on the cube. We need to remove it. We need to press the U key, and this is the UV related menu, and press reset. And now we don't have any UV on the cube, and now we need to go to the edge mode. Press this or press 2 on your keyboard. Let's explain about the cuts or seam. Here we need to select this edge, this, and this, and edge loop actually, and press U. And here we need to select the mark C. Mark C mean a cut. And now these four edges has been cut out. As you can see, they are red. They have a red color. And then go to the polygon mode and press A. And then press U. And here we have three options to unwrap the UV. The process of converting or creating a 2D view based on the 3D model is unwrapping. We have three options. Unwrap angle based, so we have this result. Unwrap conformal, we have this result. And unwrap minimum stretch, we have this result. You can select based on your needs. I will select the unwrap angle based. As you can see, this polygon is this in 2D view, but the rest of it is this, the rest of the cube. And it is not good because we don't have any cuts on other edges. And here, if we wanna convert this section, this and this, to a 2D shape, it will be stretched and we have a pressure on it. And we can see here we have a pressure. In the 2D view, if you press the 3 button or this option, we can select the polygons. Here, if we select this, we can select the polygons and change the position of the 2D shape. But as you can see, this shape won't be changed. Actually, it's a 2D view for texturing. It is not an actual modeling view. Anyway, if we select this, as you can see, this little polygon is related to this polygon. And the shape of it is not good, the size of it is not good and correct because of the pressure applied on this face. If we press the 2 key and in the edge mode, select this edge loop and mark seam or cut this edge loop. Here, if we go to the polygon mode, press A, U, and unwrap angle based. As you can see, we have two polygons here. This is the first one and this is the second. And we don't have any pressure on these two polygons. And here we have a pressure on the rest of the polygons. So the question is how to remove this pressure. We can do it in many ways. For example, go to the edge mode, select this edge, press U and mark seam. Now, as you can see, we have a cut here and consider this polygon loop will be cutted here. Now the edge will be destroyed and now we don't have any pressure anymore. Go to the polygon mode and unwrap base. As you can see, we have a correct structure. We don't have any pressure because this polygon is completely separated. This is separated and we have a cut here and we don't have any logical pressure on the 3D object, and this object can be converted to a 2D shape easily. Now, as you can see, these two shapes are separated completely, but we can't move easily this shape. And here, these sections are separated, exactly this edge. But actually, all of these polygons are connected to each other. Also, we can press S to scale it down or scale it up. We can press G to move it. You can press the R to rotate it. It doesn't affect on the 3D view and so on. In another word, you can move easily the polygons if the polygon is disconnected and separate from the other polygons. You can move it easily. Now we have a UV shape. You can apply another structure. For example, here a cut here, cut, don't cut this section, cut here, and connect this polygon, this together, and this, and this together. And we have two tiles, not three tiles. Here we have three tiles. You can apply many structures for a single cube. So what is this UV? What can we do with this UV? First, I need to say, try to scale it down a little because actually It's kinda dangerous that these edges are over on the UV border. Don't do it. And get a distance from polygons to the UV borders. So now we have a desired result. And actually I need to say this square shape is a texture, and we need to export this texture and paint on it. If we paint something like high text on this polygon, a high text will be displayed on the top section polygon. And actually this is a 2D view or texture related to this cube, and we can paint on it and create texture based on this view. Alright, it's better to press A to select all the polygons and go to the UV, and here export UV layout. Alright, now here we can export the UV view, the texture view, as a PNG, JPG, or other image types. Here we can define the size of the image and resolution. The field opacity is the alpha channel of the UV view, and if we set it to 1, we don't have any transparency on the result. Here this value is good. We can change the size of the UV. It doesn't matter because we can change it in Photoshop. Alright, we can change the format to SVG, EPS, or PNG. We don't have any other formats. Here we can change the type of the tiles. We can export UDIM if we have multiple UV tiles. If we had multiple UV views, they will be called UDIMs, and that's the advanced concept UV mapping, and I will work on it later. Alright, now press the export UV layout. Right, as you can see, this is the result, and this is look like this is look like this shape. And we can open this image inside the Photoshop or Paint and actually paint on it, or place a texture or an image on the tiles. Alright, here we are in the Paint software, and I need to say something. Here, this is the empty space, and if we write or paint everything on it, we can't see them on the model because these sections are important. These are the polygons. Alright, let's paint something on the polygons. Example high, and here cube. Alright, press Ctrl S to save it, and now we have this result. Alright, now we need to import the texture to the Blender. Here, go to the material view, and in this section we need to remove the material on the surface and create a new material and call it cube matte. Alright, now as I said earlier, we can connect something to base color, a color, texture, an image, or anything else. Alright, you can remove this menu if you want using the N key on your keyboard. Alright, here we need to drag and drop the cube.png texture, or you can press Shift A, texture, and image texture, and open your texture. There are no differences. Here, if you press Ctrl Shift and left click, as you can see, we have the high text on the top polygon and cube text on the bottom polygon, and this is what we write on the cube. Actually, if you go to the UV mapping, here as you can see, the 2D shape is converting to the 3D shape, and as you can see, the image applied on the 3D cube, the 3D shape based on this view. Alright, can connect it to the base color. Let's see the final result. Alright, let's create a UV for the sphere as well. Here we have a complicated UV on the sphere. Press A to select it. Select all the polygons, U, and then reset. Alright, here we need to add seams or cuts we can follow many structures. For example, this edge loop, we can cut it and then create the UVs. We can use this edge loop, or we can apply multiple cuts like this. But I prefer to use this edge loop. Press 2 key on your keyboard and then Alt and left click. Here we have this edge loop. Press U and mark seam. Alright, press 3 on the keyboard, press A, U, and unwrap angle waste. As you can see, we have a good structure. Here we can scale it down or up and also move this section. Right, we have this structure. Press A, UV, export UV layout, and then here press export UV layout. Alright, I'll work on this texture in Photoshop. As you can see, we have a layer, a transparent layer here, and represents the UV. We can add an extra layer for the colors and fill it with this color. And actually another color, this is a UV color. Here let's select this color and write something. Okay. Alright, now we can remove this layer. This is not important. It is very useful to recognizing where the painting should apply on the polygons, but here we don't need it. And now let's export the texture. Okay, this is result. Now let's import it to the Blender. Here, create a new material, sphere mat, and here we need to import the sphere, drag and drop, and apply it to the surface. Now, as you can see, we have the OK text here and high text here. And in the UV editing, we have this structure. 2D shape is converting to 3D shape, actually baking the texture on the 3D view, the 3D surface. Alright, the bottle shape is more complicated and I will do it in the next chapter, and also create the textures inside the Substance Painter, more complicated and more realistic textures.